Everyone can spend money in a way that's going to make them happier, but it is not as simple as you think. So I've written about money and finance and investing for 20 years, and almost never had I myself said, what is my spending philosophy? I can tell you how I invest. I can tell you how I save. I can tell you why I do those things. If 5 years ago, if you said, Morgan, tell me your philosophy about spending in your own life, I'd be like, I don't really know. And as I looked into it, there are literally tens of thousands of books on how to invest, how to grow your money, how to get rich, how to help your career. That topic is endless. There is virtually no book out there written about spending money. And I think the reason why is because I think we intuitively think nothing needs to be said because the answer should be obvious. More is better, fancier is better. That's the end of the topic. But if you know particularly wealthier people, I mean, it affects everybody, but particularly wealthier people, you know it's not that simple. That the correlation between how much you spend and how happy you are, it can exist. Everyone can spend money in a way that's going to make them happier, but it is not as simple as you think. You know, another title for the book could have been The Psychology of Spending Money, because that's what this is. So it's a look at the psychology of greed and envy and social aspiration and like climbing the social ladder, who you're trying to impress, whether those people are paying any attention to you. That's what this book is.
Why does it matter to the person that's listening right now?
I think it is a very easy assumption to make if you're unhappy with your life, that if you had more money, those problems would go away. And so I guarantee you that every single person listening to this right now has some degree of that. But I do think it's the clearest window that we can look through to try to figure out what's going on in our own lives and other people's lives in society. It shows very starkly what people value, what they're scared of, what they're aspiring to become. But money is a very clear window that if you see how somebody engages with money, you're like, oh, I understand your insecurities. I understand what you think of other people. You can learn a lot about that.